All jazz hands, spirit fingers again.
We are the Food Scientists, getting ready to record episode 139 of our weekly podcast. Big stuff, more holiday stuff. Even would we say this is a Christmas week? Even we're starting to get into.
We're in the second half of the year, holiday spirit ish.
I'm gonna call it holiday week because we've got various holidays covered.
Yeah, but like we're even talking Food Scientists. That's like episode 139 of our week. Every week.
The mute does not stay on my YouTube, apparently.
It's all good. But yeah, we have some good stuff. So I'm ready to just jump right in if y'all are.
Really?
Well, we can talk for we can wrap.
Yeah, Danny seems dubious.
Hey, man.
See, we did the pause. You didn't even go, Amy. You didn't even have to tell us. I was paused.
But you seemed dubious about starting the podcast.
I was ready to go. I was like, really? We're just going to go? Okay. Like, I mean, I can perform on a moment's notice.
Wow.
No comment.
No.
I don't need like a lot of build-up. I can just go. I mean, like, I enjoy like the working up to the show. But,
hey, Heather.
So, like, if we want to just take this slower before we get right into the podcast, I mean, we have a pretty sexy episode today.
Yeah, we could do a lengthy build-up, but then I'm afraid that we would just be done like that, with the podcast.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I think we do prefer the episodes to not take so long. Or no, we do want them to go longer. I don't even know. Oh, boy.
We want people to last with us.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to get right. Actually, you know what? I feel like at some level our podcast is a metaphor because like we start out with like news and experience. Like we just talk about stuff and like everybody just wants to see us taste things, but we make them wait. So, yeah. I mean, like, so this is like right now we're just having small talk and then we're going to dinner and then we've got the Twinkies.
Okay, so now
weird KitKats that who knows what those are.
Yeah. Oh, we'll just talk about that in the actual podcast.
Okay.
Pause.
Oh, pause up, yeah.
This is the Food Scientist Podcast. I am your host, Amy Zajac. I am here with Danny Sussman.
Hey, Amy. Hey, Brian. Hello, Internet. Thanks for picking the person who was taking a drink to go first, Amy.
I did that on purpose because I
know
can
you
see
did
you
that
via
on
our
purpose.
Zoom. And we're also here with Brian Pierce, who's now taking a drink. Tried to do a spit take.
Hey, everyone. Good to be in your ears right now.
We will have news and experiences. Then we'll try the new revised gingerbread Oreo. We have a trio of KitKats and
orange and black, right?
And we have
orange flavored and black. Yeah.
Mixed berry Twinkies. We're also going to have a shared experience with the new Voo Dew. Listener Stephen asked us about that, so we'll be doing that in our experiences segment.
Are you excited about the mystery flavor, Amy?
Well, I'm intrigued that they're going to do a different flavor each year, apparently.
I'm intrigued that it's cloudy.
Well, it is a little cloudy. But it's not like Mountain Dew is ever clear.
But it doesn't have it would be like, it's not white. It just lacks color. It's colorless but cloudy. If my water looked like this, I would not drink it. But I could see that coming out of the faucet.
Yeah, it's clear. But not...
Very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested because last year they had the flavor that I don't know what was it. It tasted like Skittles, but I feel like they said it wasn't Skittles.
No, it was riff for a minute. I know what it is. I just don't know it offhand. I can find it though.
Riff, like I could play air guitar.
There you go.
Well, but
I'm gonna change chords.
I heard that this year's is different, but not that much. So
last year's was supposed to be candy corn.
Oh yeah, and it was Skittles last year.
It didn't taste like candy corn. I will say that.
It certainly didn't taste like last week's candy corn.
Oh God, I hope not much tastes like last week's candy corn.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to or watched last week's episode, we did the turkey dinner candy corn.
last week's candy corn shouldn't have tasted like that's just not a good taste for most of them.
It was, you know what? They got like the $3 from us, so congratulations, Brock's.
Exactly. So on that note, before we get into our shared experience, we have some news. We have our news segment.
We do.
I don't know who wants to go first.
I have news from the breakfast meat world that I'm very confused about.
Well, let's hear it.
So you're familiar with Johnsonville, a town in Wisconsin, also a sausage maker based in Johnsonville, Wisconsin.
Yep, the Johnsonville brats people. Yep.
Yep.
Right, yeah. So they have a new product coming out that's called Johnsonville sausage strips, where your sausage comes in strips like bacon. And their marketing is never choose between bacon and sausage again, because it gives you these, and this is an exact quote, it lets you enjoy satisfying sausage flavor in a strip you can cook and use like bacon.
I don't know.
But
Does it make the lovely bacon grease?
Like, I want to know how it tastes. You know, like that's the important.
I don't know. It doesn't look like bacon, and it doesn't look like sausage. I mean, it sort of does. It almost looks like strips of gyro meat, or gyro meat, depending on your level of mispronunciation.
Instead of a patty or a link, it's
a strip.
Like rectangular thin.
Yes. And it's flexible. So, like, they have sausage strip wrapped jalapenos with cheese and asparagus. So you could wrap your things. It comes in 4 flavors: maple flavored, original, spicy, and chorizo. I think it's weird that they're introducing 4 flavors at the same time, but one of them is original.
I mean, I'm all for wrapping up your meat and whatever, but like
right. Always wrap your meat. But
you know,
does this make it easier for sandwiches? But you could always put a sausage patty in a sandwich.
So my question is this, right? Like, it's showing, like, I like deep frying things. Can I deep fry sausage strips? I like air frying things. Can I, air fry sausage strips? And they're like, yeah, you can do all of these things. Can I get the same crisp as bacon? Yes. There's some very funny pro tips, but yeah, and they actually refer to it as your new favorite meat strip.
And I didn't know I had a...
So it made me beg a question. One for each of you: are you a bacon or a sausage or a both?
Both.
Well, I mean both, obviously, but I mean bacon for me is much higher up.
Okay, I'm a little bit more of a sausage than a bacon, but whatever. Now, of the sausage, are you a link or a patty?
Probably a...
Amy, what were you?
A link.
See,
I mean, I'll eat the patties for sure, but a good sausage link is, well,
for
I prefaced it by saying
sausage,
it was good, so it's good.
For breakfast sausage, I'm a patty. For, like, other meals, I'm a link. But I was like, as a patty person, I feel like I should be the demographic for the strip, but I feel like if I'm going for the strip, I'm going for the bacon. But I don't know, but I'm intrigued by it. So that's the news. 4 delicious flavors of Johnsonville sausage strips coming soon in original maple flavored, spicy, and chorizo.
So instead of a BLT, you could have an SLT.
Which
in
you
a club
could have
sandwich, you could put
be
this in.
Yeah, you'd have your slit, your SLT slit. But yeah, they actually have on their website the original SLT, which is
there you go.
The sausage, lettuce, tomato, bread, and mayo. Great for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And again, that's the original, which is weird, but yeah.
Well, now you can do sausage wrapped sausage.
Right. And now you can have, like, they have the chorizo sausage burger, which is a burger with chorizo sausage on it, but as strips of bacon.
I don't know.
Sausage.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The great thing about bacon is how crispy it gets, and I just don't think sausage is going to do that. Like, you're going to lose that texture.
Yeah. So, ooh, in the chat, Corey thought both bacon and sausage were meh. Heather's bacon first, but both. I'm definitely curious as to whether or not people are into the idea of the sausage strips or the sausage flavored bacon.
I'm curious, but if I never have it, I won't feel like I've missed out on something.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I'm curious. I would definitely want to talk about it more than I want to eat it.
Right.
But I'd eat it, for sure.
Well,
so that's my news.
I have some news here this week from Kraft. They are making, I'm assuming it's seasonal, some macaroni and cheese that is pumpkin spice flavored. It is going to be just, your regular Kraft macaroni and cheese, but it's going to have hints of cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and ginger.
And for some reason, they show it in a cup and not a bowl. Like a cup, like my fast food cup here, not a...
Yeah, like a beverage you would get from McDonald's. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know about that. I love pumpkin spice. I fully agree it's overdone. I think this has potential, though. You don't?
I'm not a pumpkin spice. Here's my question, Brian. Would you rather have sausage flavored bacon or pumpkin spice flavored mac and cheese?
Pumpkin spice flavored mac and cheese.
Amy.
More filling.
Amy's
sausage flavored bacon, please.
And I will clarify that Corey intended to say that the sausage bacon mashup was meh, not the breakfast foods. So I want to clear his name. Lest his friends who listen call him and be like, "What is wrong with you?" It was me, not Corey.
Yeah. Now, Beth in our chat is saying that the pumpkin spice mac and cheese sounds gross. I just don't know. Like, it depends on how buttery it is. I don't know if like a lot of butter will go with the pumpkin spice.
I'm going to make a bold statement here. I would rather have sausage flavored mac and cheese than sausage flavored.
I was going to say, put the sausage strips in the mac and cheese.
Yeah, that would go.
Without the pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Okay, I have what I hope is slightly better news. Reese's is coming out with 2 new big cups. The big cup filled with pretzel will be coming out in November. And then the much anticipated, wondered about, what have you, potato chip version will be coming out in March.
Yep, which we mentioned last week.
Yeah.
The pretzels are permanent addition to the line, while the chips are limited edition. We said they were coming out last week with the potato chip ones, but I don't know that we had a firm time frame. Maybe we did.
Yeah, I think that there's something on, because the pretzel ones are coming out in 2 shapes as well. They're coming out as big cups and also in a smaller shape as well, I believe as minis. And remember last week I was suspicious of the potato chip news, and I'm even more suspicious of the potato chip news now. Because what we thought was confirmation was that Reese's changed their Twitter name to Salty Reese's. And people thought, oh, that confirms this potato chip story. But I have a feeling that what happened is that Reese's, changed to Salty as build-up for the pretzel announcement. Because this was a full rollout of the pretzel peanut butter cups with pictures of packaging in different sizes. They had the whole makeup. And then they had one sentence at the bottom of their press release about the pretzels that said, potato chip will also be coming out for a very limited time in March. And that's all it said. My guess is that so many people picked up the potato chip story and ran with it as fact that they didn't want to step on it and say all of that excitement was for something that wasn't real. I think that the potato chip Instagram that they used saw Salty, heard about Salty, guessed at potato chip, and then the news got so big that they have to do it because they gave themselves 6 months to come up with it, right? It's September now. They said it'll come out in March for a very limited time, when they even put that in italics. So they're like, we have 6 months to put out some of these to figure it out. But in the meantime, here's the real rollout we wanted to do of pretzel, and try to turn all of the, hey, it's not just potato chip stories into, turn the stories into, hey, that was wrong, it's pretzel instead, to, yes, potato chip, but also pretzels, and pretzels like tomorrow.
So that's your conspiracy theory of the week.
It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a well-reasoned fact. A well-reasoned theory. It's not conspiracy. Pretty confident. Pretty confident that's what happened. I would bet $1 that by the time March comes around, none of us remember that they ever said they would put out the potato chips, and they don't see the light of day. The limited edition is three packs in the company store.
Well, and I have a little bit more news that it includes Reese's, but also, Hershey, Reese's, York. They're coming out with desserts, ice cream type desserts. There's 3 kinds: colliders. They're all called colliders, and there's 3 kinds: twisted, chopped, and layered. So twisted has a creamy vanilla dessert topped with your favorite candy. Chopped is topped with, it's got all that but added with chopped pieces of chocolate. And layered, you'll have your flavors turned into a cool and creamy dessert and topped with a layer of smooth, rich chocolate topping. And they show examples here from York, Reese's, and Hershey. I mean, it's just like ice cream mixed with candy, which we know can be good. So in your freezer section, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like Reese's is well on their way to overwhelming Oreo as the new Oreo. It's
Add some liquor, blend it in a blender, and you're good.
I feel like we just don't have a term for when Reese's does the Oreo thing. If we did, I would slap that label on it.
Resell out?
I mean, I think Oreo works. I mean,
Yeah.
Oreo has been bad enough where I think that can just, carry over.
That actually works into my first experience. If we want to transition into experiences.
Go for it.
A few weeks ago in the news, I talked about the Pillsbury cookie doughs that say eat or bake on them. So I bought the Oreo one.
Ooh.
Which is cookie dough made with Oreo pieces. And it says in the package makes 12 big cookies. Like the word big is in big letters. So you get it. It's a pack of pucks of cookie dough that have ground up Oreo in it. And so I had them. I'm going to tell you, it took me to like the 4th or 5th one before I even bothered putting one in the toaster oven. Because it advertises eat or bake. And it's not like I loved them. It was just like eating the dough. I had a good enough idea of what the cookie tasted like. I was like, it's just delaying my gratification. So I finally did bake one. And it tastes like a cookie that has like a sugar cookie with Oreos ground up in it.
That's kind of impressive because you usually say, I don't like cookie dough. I don't want cookie dough. Leave it.
Well, I was curious about it, but I think I've been like trying to reflect on this because I actually like bought them like a week and a half ago, and I've just been processing internally because I don't really like the cookie dough, right? And my question is, can you bake it? Is it even cookie dough if you can't bake it? And these, yes, you can bake them so they're cookie dough. But I'm like, am I eating them as cookie dough because I enjoy cookie dough? But like, I don't enjoy them as dough or as cookies, really. But I'm like, well, at least I just get the eating over with faster as dough. Because I take it out and I'm like, well, I can wait 8 to 10 minutes to eat this thing. Or just down the hatch now. Like, will the benefit... I mean, it's an okay sugar cookie. Like, it's maybe slightly better as a cookie. But is it like, wait 8 to 10 minutes when I want a cookie now better?
And those usually don't like... stay fresh that long. Like
no,
they're like, oh, this is stale. Yeah.
It did bring me back to the good old days when I worked at a job and we had some like college students working for us, and we had a toaster oven in the office, and I was like, the office toaster oven is made for refrigerator cookie dough. Like, just keep a package of refrigerated cookie dough and then use the office toaster oven, and now you have warm cookies at work. And I did that, and our student workers, interns, they liked it. And it got to the point where I realized that if you said, I could go for a cookie, the students would go and make cookies and serve them to everybody. They're like, oh, I'll cook some up. Like, they're looking for stuff to do. And so basically they would make cookies for us, in the afternoon. They'd be like, they just want to curry favor and, get good references and good experience, be friends in the office through the time of their short time with us. So, right around and get the twosies, they'd be like, who wants cookies? And you're like, me. And they would just take care of it, right? You bring the dough and they'll take care of the cookies. It brought me back to that. So that's my experience.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can relate because I have people, in the mindset of if there's food, they have to bring me some or tell me about it at very least.
Well trained.
Yeah. I had a little, I don't want to say dilemma, but I had an internal, crisis.
Ooh. Kind of like my feelings about the cookies.
Kind of, yeah. That was the segue there.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Dairy Queen. I know.
I hope that's not the crisis. I know this much.
No. I thought I would go. It had been a while, a week.
Oh.
So I really wanted to get a pumpkin pie blizzard though, and give myself the royal treatment.
Okay.
But I didn't know what would be best. I just couldn't decide what would go with pumpkin because that's kind of a unique flavor. I didn't know if chocolate or caramel might be it. I just couldn't land on what would, go well. So I thought,
what I would do.
First, the idea. I'm going to ask, my Facebook friends, what they have to say. Mm-hmm. And
I saw this.
Yes, and like the biggest, the most responses were caramel and marshmallow, followed by I think 3 people said, do whatever you want as long as it disguises that nasty pumpkin taste. I don't know.
I'm in that one. I said cocoa would do, the hot fudge would do that best.
But yeah, a few people said that. But yeah, most people went with caramel and marshmallow. Now, I had kind of thought marshmallow in the back of my head. And my friend Joy commented marshmallow right away. Now, Joy and I were like cool. The only point of contention in our friendship is that she offered me salad once.
That's like a red line.
As soon as she did it, she realized, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." So like she lost her head.
Right. It happens, right? We all have bad days.
Yeah. No, I offered her food, so it was just the knee jerk, like, "Oh, do you want some of my Oh."
No.
And like, yeah, I mean, my poker face, was not, no, Lady Gaga, I am not.
Right. Mine's just like, would you like a knee to the sensitive places? Right.
Yeah. So, but no, I respect her. So I was like, you know what? I got to go with marshmallow.
I actually said I believe that would be the correct answer for the pumpkin pie people.
Yeah. And, when you add marshmallow to a blizzard as a royal in the middle, it just changes that blizzard texture completely. It makes it all like paste, like marshmallow cream is the texture. It was so good, though. It was so good.
Better than the plain pumpkin pie?
Different. Just as good, at very least.
Was it worth $1 more?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's substantially better. I mean, especially from your $1. I mean, getting $1 out of Brian is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, ooh. I mean, my restaurant bill would have to be over $100 for me to tip that much,
I know. I've believe me, I've waited for you to leave and gone back enough times.
But no, like that was so good. Well worth it. Marshmallow, just surprisingly well. And someone else commented, I don't think this was you, Danny, but someone said you make yams with marshmallows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the same concept, pumpkin pie with marshmallows. And yeah, that was a good thought. But so many people said caramel, and I didn't, even in the chat here, we're seeing caramel. I didn't want to let those people down, so I got both.
Oh yeah. Did you do what size? Did you get them both on the same day?
Consecutive.
Okay. So you didn't do what I would have done, which is just get the minis of both.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do one. Yeah, minis. Come on.
But it's 2 minis. You're 2-fisting Dairy Queen. I feel like minis are allowed if you have 2.
A flight. 2 is not a flight, my friend. That's taxiing.
No. Right, that's what I said. No, you're 2-fisting, but it's not a flight. 3 is a flight.
Yeah. But no, I got
One
medium.
mini is heresy. 2 is two-fisting. It's acceptable. 3, now we're on to something.
And one mini shared by multiple people. I've witnessed that.
Who? Name. I want that. Are they in the chat? I will
No,
go.
they are not in the chat. They are ex-coworkers who begged me to take them to Dairy Queen.
Ex-coworkers is the key.
That's
Thank you for doing the right thing, Brian.
Yeah, I get a mini, but I eat it all. It was not me. So
Host, I've lost hope long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, these two people had the audacity to beg me to take them. I finally said, okay, let's go. They were so excited. Then they shared a mini.
So how was the caramel?
Okay, thank you for... Yeah, I needed to get off that topic before my blood pressure got too high.
I got pills for
caramel
that.
was good. When they put caramel in the middle, they put a lot of caramel in there.
Yeah.
It's really good. However, the flavors didn't mesh well. They didn't make each other better. They coexisted. They lived in harmony, but they didn't make something greater.
So it wasn't worth the extra $1.
I actually kind of wonder how peanut butter would be, because again, with yams, they put marshmallow and nuts on it. So I thought peanuts might be good. Peanut butter.
Yeah, it was, Danny, it was worth trying once, but you have to really like caramel.
Yeah, the caramel apple pie, I feel like, probably is the better fit for the caramel.
Yep, I did have that thought. And yeah, Amy, I really was curious about peanut butter as well, but I kind of thought it'd be the same thing. The peanut butter would taste fine. It wouldn't make either one worse, but it wouldn't make either one better.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shall we go on to our shared experience?
Yes, the new 2020 Mountain Dew Voodoo.
The Voodoo. They're doing a new flavor each year, and we already talked about it a little. Last year was apparently candy corn, though none of us thought it tasted like that.
We'll
find out
in peace and question marks.
It sure smells like Skittles to me again this year. We'll see.
Oh yeah, that definitely smells like Skittles.
Oh yeah, that is a Skittles smell.
That tastes like Skittles to me too. So maybe, last year when they did this, we said the same thing. We said this is Skittles. It was candy corn. Maybe they just said let's re-release it and we'll say it's it's Skittles this year.
But this doesn't just taste like Skittles. It tastes like just a particular one, like maybe strawberry
or orange, maybe.
Maybe orange. But it's not just like a handful of Skittles. It's like listener Steven, who asked us about these. This is where I came up with strawberry. He thinks it's strawberry Skittles.
I don't think it's Skittles, because I think if they paid the money to Skittles for the branding, they would have put it on the package.
What do you think it is, Danny?
But
do you think it's Sprees instead? No, I'm kidding.
I think it's definitely berry flavored.
So, Danny, would you say it's a Voo Don't?
It's okay. Like, I don't hate it, but you know what the problem is with it for me? Is that the mystery is killing me. But it would be like if I gave you a Skittle, right? And I blindfolded you and said, which flavor is this? You would identify it as a Skittle. But they all, at some level, none of them taste like any actual fruits.
Right.
So, I mean, like, if you said to me, oh, it's fruit-flavored, candy-flavored, I'd be like, yeah. It has, like, that certain, like, weird offness of Skittles. That's where it comes from, is artificial. It's, like, artificial fruit
after you've
flavor.
chewed them a lot, and you get that little bit of, like, saliva-y liquid sugar rush.
Right. I mean, when I read the ingredients, there's nothing that gives it away. But then I get to the end, and I'm just like, I don't even like the sounds of it. Like, this has sucrose acetate isobutyrate in it. I don't know what that is, but, like, I know enough of those word parts to be like, I think that's sugar and glue and gas. I don't even know.
Yeah, nitroglycerin. Like, I don't know about that.
I feel like it possibly could explode. And I think that was...
Arsenic, curare.
I mean, to me, that makes it closer to Surge, because you're just like, Surge! So...
Oof. Yeah, that brings back memories.
It's definitely a mystery flavor. I will confirm that it is a mystery flavor.
Yes.
Slow cap. I'm hoping that it's revealed as we don't really quite know either.
Like we just took a bunch of old Mountain Dew flavors, mixed them together.
Right.
There you go.
That's like when they said Liberty was like the one that was all the flavors. It's kind of like that. Like, yeah, we had it. They're like, try this. It's pretty good. And you're like, yeah, what is this flavor? And they're like, yeah, well, we don't know, but we can reproduce it. And they're like, done.
Okay. Well, shall we move on to the better tasting, hopefully, gingerbread Oreo.
New gingerbread Oreo. Different recipe than last year.
These smell like pumpkin spice.
I'm getting more gingerbread myself.
So the difference is this year the cookie is supposed to be a gingerbread cookie.
Yeah.
And it definitely looks like it. And then the cream has big sugar crystals.
Right. And I was surprised to see that the sugar crystals are red.
Well, that's for Christmas? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. And again, it's like the 2 patties of cream.
Yeah, because where I come from, the sugar's not red.
Are we sure someone didn't just bleed in these? This looks like a Band-Aid when you rip it off.
I have another unopened package. Back behind my home studio, I have like a whole giant like green room because the place is centered around the studio, but then the rest of it's the green room. I do have another pack back there. We can find out.
These definitely taste like a gingerbread cookie.
Yeah, but they're not quite as strong pungent of the ginger molassesy that a lot of gingerbread cookies are. But it's there. It's definitely there.
You know what? The crystals ruin it for me. They do. That texture just is off-putting.
I can't even figure out the texture in the cream because the cookie itself is so crunchy. Mm-hmm. I have to go after the patties. Oh, there's one. I just got some like just a little extra crunch in between my teeth. But if I eat a whole like bite out of the cream patty,
I actually really like it together as the whole cookie versus what I did. And I ate one cookie on its own. And then this, I think when you have the cream with the cookie, it makes it good.
Is there a flavor in the cream or like besides cream? I'm trying to figure that out. If it's just
the cream itself is just cream.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's the basic cream. Like an iced oatmeal cookie. Not oatmeal.
I wish that if they're going to put the crystals in the cream, they should make it the popping crystals.
Why do we need crystals in our candy? That's not...
If they're popping crystals, then you get a great little, like, Pop Rocks effect. I love that.
And if you decorate these for the holidays, you often put the icing and some sugar on it. That's probably why it's also red, because you have the red and green sugar you put on decorated cookies.
In my house, it was blue and white.
You know, it kind of reminds me, actually, of the scary snack cakes we had last week. They kind of taste like a ginger cookie, but a hard cookie.
Did you try the cookie on its own, Brian, without the cream?
Let me do that right now. It tastes like gingerbread, but it is hard, which I know sometimes gingerbread is made, hard, especially if you're building a house out of it.
I feel like it's... by the way, there are different patterns on them. Like this one's a little Christmas tree. I think there's like 6 different patterns on them. Bad news, Santa. We have Oreos for Santa. This one was for you. It has your name all over it. Let me tell you what I think about you, bud.
I do think these would be good dunked in milk. But again, the crystals are going to take that. Everything's going to get soft except those crystals.
Brian really has a thing against the crystals, but I like them.
I do.
Fine. I feel guilty because I just ate Santa's Oreo.
I am anti-crystal right now.
Yeah.
I will stand by that.
Okay.
Would you buy these, Brian?
Mm-mm. I would eat them.
Amy? Well.
Yeah,
I'd buy them and I'd eat them.
Would you recommend them to a friend for their holiday display?
If they like gingerbread in general, yes. But I know people that don't like gingerbread, so then no.
I mean, if anyone would want to have it for their holiday party, like as a sampling of different things, like sure, like that makes sense. I wouldn't fault them for it, but I'm not going to go out and buy these for any reason.
I think I figured it out. These are gingerbread cookies for the people who don't like gingerbread cookies because they're mostly Oreo with a little like a gingerbread twist, but they're not like a straight up punch you in the mouth gingerbread cookie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier. They're not that strong gingerbread flavor. There's just a bit of it.
It's like a ginger that's blonde instead of red hair.
So now we'll move on to the orange and black.
Yeah.
Our different KitKats. We have international KitKats, orange flavored.
From Japan.
And,
That's orange flavored. Yeah.
Special dark. And we'll talk about each of these in a bit. And then the U.S. orange colored.
So I'm curious, Brian, do you think you'll like an orange? Yeah. Do you think you'll like an orange colored or an orange flavored Kit Kat more?
You know, it's going to depend on how strong that orange flavor is and how much of the peel it tastes like.
Right.
Or the rind.
So the orange colored are available in the United States now.
Yep, they're Halloween Kit Kats.
Yes, they're a Halloween Kit Kat. Oh, the corner broke on one of mine there. But interesting look. They're very orange.
So we're doing the U.S. ones first?
Sure. Now this is, in theory, the white chocolate colored orange.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing special here. It's just, you know, the white chocolate with orange coloring. Nothing new, nothing exciting. Just a Oreo.
And it is a very orange color.
I feel like, if you remember when we had the white chocolate Reese's Cups that really highlighted the peanut butter, I feel like this highlights that the cookies inside of a Kit Kat aren't that great.
The cookie inside this one is almost more savory.
I'm surprised
It doesn't say anything about that.
I'm surprised that I don't like that
the package has a
more.
cat, not just a black cat, but a black cat in a Halloween costume.
Well, it's Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, these are fine, but I mean, I'm never going to choose this over a chocolate one.
Right. Should we try the orange flavored ones?
Yes.
From Japan, also
Ooh.
with a cat on them.
Yes.
This cat
With
is,
an alarm clock.
Now, this smells like it's going to taste a little bit like eating the rind.
Okay, mine has a cat in a bath with an alarm clock cat
Mine's
over
all
it.
different. I have a cat just kicking it and relaxing, taking a nap. Well, that would be a cat nap. I got a cat reading a book.
Wow, that smells like orange sherbet.
That is a strong orange. That does not taste like... That is not a creamsicle orange.
Ugh, it's like a tart creamsicle.
That's like a blood orange. Like, there's blood coming out of my tongue orange.
That's like orange rind.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of grows on me, though.
This is the whole orange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. I don't love it. But I'm going to finish it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Japanese Kit Kats are always kind of different. I mean, that one's almost savory, right? It's like more sour. It's not nearly as sweet. Which brings us to the black wrapper Kit Kat, which...
Dark chocolate.
It's dark chocolate. It's called Otana no Amasa. And it actually translates, if you translate to English, it's sweetness for adults. So this is an adult Kit Kat because it's a very dark chocolate that's less sweet. So this is the adults. I mean, that thing is almost black.
Almost like some of the chocolate you get when you're tasting ports and dessert wines.
Yes. So yeah, this is darker than a dark chocolate.
Yeah, it's super dark chocolate. But I do like it. I'm going to try it with the orange, just because.
Oh, you have to savor this thing almost. Because the chocolate kind of develops as you eat it.
It must rest on the palate to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't eat this like a child and just shove the whole thing in your face.
I mean, that's why it's for adults, you know.
It is. I like this. Do you like this, Brian?
I'm not sure.
This definitely appeals to my inner snob. Like the first one, I was like, this tastes cheap. This one does not taste cheap.
I kind of like it with the orange. I like it on its own, too.
I feel like it's a combination between something fancy and something really old.
Like stale old?
Old-timey. Not like, yeah.
Like from the good old days.
Old,
like,
yeah. Something
this
from
is
the
like
past.
back in the day when life was simple and we enjoyed the fine, simple pleasures. The butler would have come forth with these KitKats on a silver platter.
You know what? I have an idea, actually. Hear me out. We have 3 of them. What if we play the game FMK with these?
Brian.
You know, yeah.
No, we were going to skip that finally. No.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's play Frolic with Marry or Kill with the 3 KitKats.
Yep.
So we have are we going to call this Otana no Amasa or just the black one? Because Halloween is coming. So we just have black, orange flavored, and orange colored.
Yep. That's what I'll go with.
I'm ready.
Go for it. Yeah, I'm curious how you go for this.
Yeah, I'm going to marry the black, the dark chocolate KitKat. Not because I'm really in love, but it is old and fancy, and that means probably rich and won't be around that long.
Also, that brings back, it's like you're a golden girl of KitKats.
Yes, this is the Betty White of KitKats.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, I'm going to marry that one. I think I'm going to have to frolic with the orange one, the orange fruit flavored one. Mm-hmm. It was something where not my normal, thing, not my normal go-to. There was something that felt kind of wrong, but there was something that kind of felt right too about it.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I know you do.
Okay. Feels so good, it can't be wrong.
Yeah, but if it's so bad, then why doesn't it feel better? I don't know. But yeah, this it was interesting. It was one that I don't know if it would be, more than a one-night stand, but it won't be one that I'd be like, ooh, delete that number and block.
Right. If it came back around, if
it came once every couple years.
If I was like, hey Brian, you know what I came across? Those orange flavored KitKats. You want one?
I'm like, oh wow, it's been a while since I've had any KitKats.
Right. It's certainly not an orange flavored one.
Yeah, and then I'm going to kill the Halloween orange KitKats because it's white chocolate. That can't compete with really anything. It's just an inferior KitKat.
Danny, you want to go?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit boring because I have exactly the same thoughts as Brian. A little bit different. I'll add my commentary. I agree. Murder the Halloween. We have talked. I harp all the time on the fact that Kit Kats in America are made by Hershey, and in the rest of the world, it's Nestle. And the Hershey is a lower quality than the Nestle. Nothing highlights that more than this Kit Kat. When you have the white chocolate of this, and you're like, oh, that's not really good white chocolate. And it brings out the cookie, and you're like, I did not realize that the center of the Kit Kat really wasn't that great. Like, it just made me sad, because it made me think if even the Kit Kats I liked, there was, like, something tricking me. Of, like, I don't think Kit Kats are as good as I think they are based on this one. Because I'm not like, well, the cookie bails it out, because the cookie didn't bail this out. So
it's like what I was saying before. The cookie is fine, but it needs the chocolate to make it better. It's like with my Blizzards. I'm like, they were fine separately, together, but they didn't work together. I think that the chocolate and the cookie work together in the Kit Kat to make it a better experience.
Right, but because it's like not great cookie, not great chocolate, but together it's a decent candy bar. But if you had a great cookie, right, and that's the Nestle one, is a better cookie and a better chocolate, and you're like, oh, that's a better experience. So I would also frolic with the orange, right? Like, I like orange juice, but I find I always hate the creamsicle things. This wasn't like the badness of creamsicle, but it definitely had like the rind, like that pithiness that I don't love that flavor. If you love that part of the orange, and people love that flavor, like I don't know. This is another one. I feel like it's an adult Kit Kat, like, and you see it a lot in like the European orange flavored chocolates really hit that pithiness. If you like that, this is really good. I like that occasionally to mix things up. I frolic with it, and then Otana no Amasa. I really like that. I felt fancy, and that's really, in my life, that's really all I want. They laugh because they know that's true. So this is
when Dan has $100 tab, he pays $2 for his tip. That's how
true.
It is.
When I had I had $100 to spend on a meal, and I got a burger because I wanted to have a 40 and a seafood plat tower, because I wanted to see just how good a hamburger or cheeseburger actually could be for like $40. Don't regret it. Find the episode in the archives. So like this to me felt like the most sophisticated of Kit Kats. If you took a Kit Kat to the next level, so as much as Halloween was like the worst that a Kit Kat could be, like from a pure chocolate experience, I feel like this is the best that a Kit Kat could be. So I'm locking that down. You're up, Amy.
Yep, and we are all in agreement, but I'll add my commentary too. Also marrying the dark chocolate. I'm gonna measure it too.
Well, Amy, sometimes you want to measure before you marry.
Yeah, I mean, before you marry, you should know what you're getting into.
It's subtle and rich, goes well with a fine wine and port, and it's just good. Right? I will not tire of it.
It's sweetness for adults. When I'm adulting, and if I'm gonna adult, that's right. That we're all getting married like adults. That's the one.
I'm gonna frolic with the orange flavored one, for two reasons. Number one, on its own, it can be a little bitter or tart, like we said, the pith of the orange, and but it mixes well with the dark chocolate, so we can all have a little fun together.
You're adding your frolic into the marriage.
Yes.
You
can all be friends.
I'm stunned to hear that you would do something like that, Amy.
And I'm still killing the orange colored one, Halloween one, because it's just not that good. But I'm mixing and mingling with my orange and dark chocolate.
All right. Well, that brings us to the last thing that I have no idea how this is going to go. We have the mixed berry Twinkies from Hostess that are now out.
A friend of mine said if you bring that box back up so everyone can see it, Amy, so they felt like it looked like ground beef inside of the Twinkie in the picture, and it grossed them out.
I think it will taste better than ground beef. I'm confident in that.
So this is our standard Twinkie with a mixed berry cream inside.
Is it good? It tastes like strawberry shortcake.
And you can see, like mine, it definitely has the ground beef dripping out the bottom.
Yep. It smells like that fake berry smell. Looks like a hot dog in there.
It tastes like mixed berry. Gotta say, I don't love it.
Tastes like that fake mixed berry you get in some cereals.
Yes.
I was thinking like yogurt. It tastes like mixed, like when they can't, I'm going to actually compare this. Maybe the mystery flavor is mixed berry. If you get the Voo Dew.
Tastes better when you eat it with the Twinkie cake, as opposed to my first thing I did is I just ate some of
the cream. I think that's pretty standard though with any snack cake. The cream usually doesn't stand well on its own.
No, but this is kind of like a tart cream to it, and the sweetness of the cake helps.
Mhm.
I mean, it's healthy. It's berry, so I
That's
feel good
true.
eating it.
Would you rather this one or just a regular Twinkie?
Oh, regular. No question.
Regular.
Yeah, me too.
Hmm.
They did not make the Twinkie better by making it mixed berry.
No, I mean, if you really love a fake berry candy flavor and you want that in a Twinkie, by all means, go for it. You'll love it. But otherwise, just stick to the classic.
If
Yeah.
you like that pre-mixed yogurt, like the weird pink mixed berry yogurt, like the little like plastic container, but you're like you can't eat yogurt, this is an okay substitute.
Mm.
But that's a pretty narrow use case.
Yeah, and I'm still not going to eat it for that reason.
Yeah,
that doesn't convince me.
didn't say it would, but yeah.
So we've eaten all the things we're going to eat today. Well, not today, but for the podcast.
I mean, maybe. I mean, we're getting close to that time when Brian doesn't eat anymore.
Oh, no. Like, we pushed that to the last second.
Are you still keeping with that, Brian?
I try to.
That's cool.
And on that note, thanks for listening,
thanks
everybody.
For listening.
Yeah, and have a...
Once again. Listen to us again. Find us on YouTube. Just do all the things that make us happy, right?
Yeah.
Go.
I mean, I personally don't rely on other people to make me happy, but if you can make me happy, please do.
You like attention, though, and that makes you happier.
Oh, sure, yeah. Happiness comes from within. Pay attention to me. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
And thank you, YouTube folks, for being with us this week.
We do
Not
not
Heather.
need durian Twinkies.
Heather, we will not thank you for suggesting that we need durian-filled Twinkies.
We do not need that.
I mean, if I know where I would find them if they could be found. Because I did have the durian snack cakes for Brian's snack cake birthday.
Awful, awful, awful. Amy, how did you like those?
No, they weren't good.
Oh, you didn't try them? Oh.
You didn't try the durian snack cake.
I smelled them. As soon as I opened that Ziploc, I was like, no.
Which reminds me, we'll talk about this in front of everyone. We need to plan for the trick or treat episode.
Oh, I think I already know what I'm going to do.
This was my thought on that. And chat.
Oh, wait. No one knows. So for Halloween, we're thinking of having a, like, where we provide food for each other, but we don't necessarily know what it is. It could be really good, could be really bad.
Right. If you watched Brian's birthday celebration, we had all of the snack cakes, but I put them all in paper bags so that it was a mystery. And then we did that. I was thinking that if each of us found one that we knew would be a trick, one that we knew would be a treat, and one that we're not sure about. And the not sure about me because I don't know enough about it, or if it's something that's divisive. Some of us, right, like a lemon bar could be a trick or a treat. It would be a treat for Amy, but a trick for Brian. Or you would
Or like
be
the giant pickles. Like, Amy would love that.
Right. But like this, probably going into this episode, this could be a trick or a treat. We really don't know how it's going to be. But like, yeah, you know, being boozled, we know that's going to be a trick.
No, you don't. You usually don't know.
Yeah, but we're going to eat enough of them until you do.
Yeah, of course.
The Fiery Five would be that.
You know, I don't know if Halloween is going to be canceled in the United States, but there's going to be candy around anyway. There's going to be snacks, and we're going to eat them. That's all I know.
Right. They're all in the stores early. And actually, like, even Christmas stuff is hitting early. I mean, it's September, and the gingerbread Oreos are out.
Yeah, that seems a little early.
Yeah, I think some people in the U.S. for Halloween are like creating like a chute that they can give candy at a distance. I've also seen like setting up like an outdoor scavenger hunt and placing candy in places around your yard so people can collect at a social distance.
I'm just planning on like yelling at children.
I'm planning on doing what I always do, which is turning off all the lights and hiding in the basement.
That's what I do too.
Yeah. I mean, that's what my parole officer says is best. That's a lie.
Okay, then.
All right, before you get yourself into legal trouble there,
Yeah.
that is our show this week. Thank you again so much, everyone, for being here. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. It's been fun.
And we're done.